Call this meeting in order. Will you rise for the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the Commissioners meeting. If you will, silence your cell phones. First order of business are the minutes from our last meeting, and I think we also have some for a special meeting.
Special session,
Okay.
yes, correct.
Have you had a chance to read those?
Yes.
Any corrections, additions, deletions that you wish to make known? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes of our last meeting and the special session. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Department reports. Is there the flu going around or?
Election last night, late night.
Yes, there's flu going around because
Okay.
people called off on working yesterday.
Bill Gray will not be here today. Animal shelter when he comes in. Ms. Bennett. Early bird gets the worm.
I know, I was just saying, I love fast meetings. I have 2 different things to address in front of you guys today. I don't know if you want to copy Mr. Appel since you wrote it. Okay. The first thing that needs to be addressed today through the dispatch center is our Spillman quote and purchase amendment. Basically, we were given a quote to catch up. We were given a quote to upgrade our Spillman. We visited different vendors for a different CAD system. We've had several different meetings in reference to the CAD. You guys had made a motion that we were not going to do anything with it in 2015. However, I don't know if if the sheriff has addressed that with you guys yet or not. Am I still on your thunder?
No.
Okay. But basically, in our meetings, we need to be on the list for the upgrade for Spillman. We're throwing some of the work on the IT personnel to try to save some money on this.
Terry, I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. I've already talked to Jackie a couple of weeks ago and told her that we go ahead and get us on the list.
Yeah, that's what this will do.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
needing you to basically sign this that says that this will get us on the list. Our IT is getting quotes for a different server. Is that correct, Michael? I don't want to put...
I've got 3 out of 7 quotes
Yeah.
so far.
So it could be possibly less than the 8,000 quoted here.
Oh, no, not for that part.
Okay.
Is this the county dispatches part of the overall upgrade? Is that what this is?
Right. The city will pay
8
8.
and the sheriff 8.
The sheriff's department will pay 8, and 911 will pay 8. Basically, this does not lock us into anything. It gets us on the list, which right now is probably October, November, where we're going to get the upgrade. We've had, like I said, several different meetings in reference to this. All of us department heads are in agreement that this is the route that we want to go. We're keeping in close work, like I said, with the IT. He's a key player in this.
Well, no.
Just-
I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to be obtuse
No, you're
this
okay.
morning. My talking with the city was that they would get us on the list, but the very earliest they could get us would be April of next year. And then the reason I okayed that then was because we would have the money out of next year's budget. We don't have the money out of this year's budget to pay this.
Right. To
But
get us
you
on the
do-
list, which was what was in April, is now already to October.
October of next year.
Yes, of 2016,
So it's been moved to October of next year.
because we're not on the list yet. So we're getting bogged down.
So you're gonna pay for this out of your monies, correct?
Yes,
911 monies?
Yes.
And this will
Yes.
get us on the list, the sheriff's department and the city also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
the Does that catch you? I'm sorry,
It's
a
all
lot
right.
of discussions have happened on this,
I
so it's
understand.
kind of, and we found out it's pretty much a server change that allows for that upgrade. We're going to be getting that upgrade with that server, so we're trying to find some cheaper routes to do it. There's still more discussion to be into the CAD upgrade, but we need this step done.
Okay.
So,
Before I ask if there's a motion, do you have any other questions of her, clarification, anything you don't understand?
that one is something.
I understand it's something they need. I have no clue what they're talking about, but that's all right.
The upgrade that we held off on, they were wanting to do
Yeah.
this month, but we held off on because we didn't have the money, and we didn't have the information.
Yes.
Was postponed to April, now it's postponed to October of next year. However, to get on the list for next year, she needs approval for this, which is a new server, which starts the process, and this is paid for out of 911 monies. Is that accurate?
Right, each one of the three agencies will pay the $8,000 for it. This is for the Spillman, and then where we had the other demo come in, we have gotten down to the nitty-gritty of why there was such a expensive upgrade quote given to us at first. We are going to attempt to alleviate the middleman, so-called middleman, and use
Okay.
RIT as the middleman, but we still need to get on the list to get the upgrade.
Now this,
Yes.
and it's, if you don't follow it closely,
Yeah.
this is the upgrade. There's still those sizable maintenance agreements that the Sheriff's Department, 911, and the city are paying. That's completely separate. That's an ongoing routine cost each year. This is something new for an upgrade.
Right, Spillman and RES are not.
Do what?
Spillman is separate from, it's not all one package, basically.
Right. We use, we have Spillman, and then we have the middleman of VIA that controls essentially the servers. They're kind of termed a super user. And we are in the process of, all three of us department heads, to take our own entity of it and start getting the prices down in this. We're digging deep. One of the best things that they could have done for our county is to give us a high quote for an upgrade, so then we could take the time to break it down and see every little aspect of what we're getting spent money on.
I'm sure that wasn't their intent, but
It was
the
not their
result-
intent.
The result worked out fine.
Yeah. So,
I remember when we got the statement for,
$39,000.
Yeah.
yes, a lovely chunk of money that was due in November. And hey, wait, boys, we don't have you in this budget.
yeah. Well, and if you look, this quote was given to us in March. And, so
Yeah.
I'm just now feeling comfortable coming before you and saying, yeah, put us on the list. I think the sheriff is going to approach you with this as well. The city has already signed their portion, so.
Given the information that you've heard, is there a motion to approve this quote and purchase addendum from Spillman Technologies for $8,000 even?
I make a motion to approve this $8,000 request from Terry.
And you and I have talked about this, so second that motion.
Yeah, we had Mr. Wood.
There's a motion and a second. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mr. Wenta from the council was in our last meeting, and he's working closely with us as well on this, so. And our next meeting is the 17th of this month with them, so.
Just sign this one.
Print customer name, you'll sign under authorized signature as the president of the commission.
Yeah, the customer name should be Fayette County Communications on that. I had to wipe that out before I came, because this kept saying
All right,
Congress.
so Commissioner Jackson, you'll sign and print on the far right side.
Go ahead, Terry. I know
Okay.
you have something else.
The next item is our interlocal agreement between the commissioners, basically, and the communications department. What it is where we are supplementing the services of the IT, probation, community corrections, and myself. We are all supplementing the IT for their services. We met with Mr. Appel, got this contract up. I believe probation already got this signed at the last meeting. So I'm just needing this, obviously, it's been reviewed by Mr. Appel. We are going to, once this is signed, as far as the IT department and community, 911, sorry, we are going to do this from December 2015 to December of 2016. So, and then it will be reviewed each year in December to make sure that everything's, the figures and things like that are all going to be correct for that next year.
If I can just add a second line, we had a discussion with Michelle Dudley and with Terry last week in my office. I did call the State Board of Accounts. We are allowed to do a claim payment towards the supplement for the IT services. However, here's the only concern that I need to ask for the departments. If we have that money, I mean, there are fundings already appropriated, I know, out of probation and 911's 2015 budget that we can use. However, for Ms. Dudley's communication, I would ask until January when you submit that claim, because if you put it in December, all of that's going to just roll back otherwise into the fund. So it's better that you wait until 2016 or January to submit that for the 2016 payments. And I'll just work with each of the departments and Mr. King to make sure that's done appropriately. And then Mr. King will just simply, once that money's appropriated into his part-time IT service line item, he'll then keep track of the hours for his part-time help and submit payroll to Kathy as normal.
I have a quick question on that, Gertrude. Mr. King has already invoiced me for it. I just haven't submitted it yet until this was signed in. Are you going to be utilizing some of that funds for December or not?
Yes.
So should I just do December to January or go ahead and do it?
Well, don't you already have 2015 appropriations?
Yes.
So we're going to use the current 2015 appropriations, and you wait until 2016 for the new ones to have to submit that claim so that it doesn't roll over at January 1 when we change our books.
Okay. All right, I got you on that.
And feel free to, we'll talk about this offline on details.
Okay,
if necessary.
thank you.
Okay, we have before us an intra-local agreement that Mr. Pell has already looked at and approved, correct, Mr. Pell?
Yes, she wasn't here to review it and check it with her board, so she's here today to approve it. I recommend that you guys approve it. It's just something that was agreed to a while ago. It wasn't in writing, so there was a problem actually getting the monies paid, but now they have this agreement.
Okay.
I make a motion to accept this interlocal agreement between the Fayette County Commissioners and the Fayette County Communications Department
You made the motion to accept this.
Thank you.
through December 2015 to December 2016.
You've heard the motion, is there a second?
I second.
Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
And I believe that's all that I have. Ms. King, if you want, get a hold of me and I'll bring you up to par on the CAD project, because I know these two have sat in on the advisory board meetings and things, so I'll be happy to get you on, up to date on that. so.
She has those, you'll have to add your signature, then she can get a copy for her files later, but I'll let her
Moving
have
on to this, I'll make you a copy.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Sheriff, can we squeeze you in, please? Good morning.
Squeeze in very often.
Thanks, sir.
I have a 144 to hopefully get your approval on for a jail position of a jail officer. Sylvia Bowling, one of our jail officers, gave her notice and left. We held interviews and selected Nancy Bolander to be our next jail officer, and she is gave an excellent interview. She works at the cafeteria at Maplewood and has been there for quite some time. Had good references, gave a good interview, and she's concerned about her hours there and wanted to come down and work with us, so.
Okay, she starts out bottom position and okay. I never gainsay, well, I don't think I've ever but once gainsaid an office holder or appointed official as to who they prefer to choose, so.
Okay, so one left and then one is taking that spot.
Yeah.
So you have to have a 144.
It's just a wash, yeah.
Okay, I see.
Is there, I'm sorry,
Need a motion to accept.
is there a motion to approve the sheriff's 144?
I'll make a motion to approve the sheriff's 144 for jail officer.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the 144 for Nancy Bolander. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Anything else, Sheriff?
I was checking with Michael on something. Some of this Spillman stuff is, we've had a few different things thrown at us, so I was trying to, Michael said he'll cover that, but the server migration that Terry brought up, we as well need that $8,000 approved for our department. I will have to change my paperwork here because for some reason I've got the Connersville Police Department's contract to sign, so I will.
Well, here's the question, okay? She's got the monies to do it. Do you have the monies for the $8,000?
Well, we have, council set aside $32,000 for Spillman for next year, but that's why I was at, and Michael said he would address it. There's two different quotes in reference to the server, and Michael can probably speak better to that. One's for $26,940 and the other's for $8,000. So, and that's from each department, so.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's quite a bit of difference, yeah.
Michael, why don't you join him up there and then maybe the two of you can.
Okay, I talked to Max from Spillman on Friday as I was trying to get information on the server quote. The way it sounded implied to me was that the $26,940 for the server was a one cost. I thought it was all inclusive the way he was talking. So that may be the case for the $8,000 too. So that may be $8,000 for all three total. I'll double check before I say that for sure.
Now you see why I was like a bouncing ball this morning on this.
If that's the case, it makes it roughly $2,900 for each department to pay for that upgrade. And that $8,000, what that covers is.
How much, I'm sorry?
That $8,000 that Terry was talking about.
Three.
Yeah, it'd be that 8,000 divided by 3 for each department, so it's 8,000 total for the whole upgrade, is what my impression was.
Well.
So I'm gonna check with him and verify that.
Okay, the total price presented was $39,000 and some change. What they presented us in late spring of this year. So they're not. I doubt that they reduced it that much. And we need.
Well, $39,000 and some change would be the $8,000 plus the $26,940 that they quoted for the actual server, the actual equipment.
You're saying 26,000?
$26,940 is what they quoted for the actual physical equipment for the server, for 25 to 100 concurrent users. That's the actual server equipment and the backup. And then the 8,000 is basically the labor to transfer from our existing system and convert it over to the new system.
Then it's 8,000 per department, right?
From the impression I got from Max Friday, and I'll verify it, it sounded like he was saying that was the lump sum for everybody. And that was the total number. We also have a quote, though, we have a quote for $25,000 for training for the jail, for a 3-week training to come over and train all the officers and the jail officers on the system. So that's
In addition to this?
in addition to this. Yeah. So
Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not even going to ask the board if they want to vote on this because, and it's nothing against any of you three, but we need specifics because we were told, okay, that in addition to roughly $19,000 maintenance charges for each department, okay, there would be roughly $40,000 for the upgrade. This is coming up to a lot more than that. So obviously, there's probably some confusion someplace, but we need some clarification.
Yeah, and I'll call Max right after the meeting.
Okay.
And that was one of the things I was gonna broach, and I can either do it now or wait till I get up here.
Do you want to rescind that motion?
Did we already start?
Well,
No.
I believe we're already on the
Hearing.
list because of the police department going ahead and approving their things. That's something that we can look into as well. And from what I understood was that there is two different quotes. If Spillman does the whole migration, or if we have our IT or our BIA that we currently use. If Spillman does the whole migration, I've received a quote of like $20,000 from them for that. And that's what us department heads and Mr. Winter was in that meeting as well. And it's more with the servers. So yeah, it's a lot of different things with it.
And a part of that original quote was, I think VIA being involved and VIAs being taken out of all of this. We're not going to VIA anymore. Because I think there's a lot of work that's what we were talking about, having each department have their own administrator, so to speak, like Jackie is for the city. We would send somebody through training, Terry would send somebody through training, so we'd handle a lot of those issues in-house, to where when we hire a new jail officer like we just did, you have to call VIA, they have to add them into the email, they have to add them into being able to log in and do a report, where that's something we're going to be able to handle in-house, and Spillman is going to offer that training for each of us to have that. So that original quote, the amount that you stated from last year, or that was going to be due in November of this year, included a contract with VIA, which is no longer going to be an issue.
So we're probably gonna get it cheaper.
It's going to
But-
be
yeah,
cheaper.
But as of right now, we don't know for sure exactly the
Yeah.
price, correct?
Yeah, the 8,000 is a server migration. The other, the 26 is actually for the server, which I believe Michael is looking for.
Yeah, I'm
that
trying to find the equipment, see if I can get it cheaper.
And
Well,
that,
again, we weren't told there would be any expenditures this year,
yeah,
so,
and this isn't to be paid till
Yeah,
next
not be
year.
paid next
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
This isn't to be paid till next year.
till next year?
Yeah, we're talking November of 16, not 15.
And my understanding was that this 8,000 was just basically to get us on the list, so then we don't keep getting pushed back.
Both of you need to be on the list for the 8,000?
Just need to be on the list once.
Yes.
And we could possibly, if you want to table it, we can find out if we're on the so-called on the list, because the police department is a third of this, and they have signed their agreement and submitted it. I have one of these with Jackie's signature on there. It was already approved by the city for the 8,000 for Spillman. It's,
It's for VA to do the migration, but that's all they're gonna be doing.
yeah. And they're gonna be here again, like we said, the 17th.
Well,
So I urge everyone.
You want to table
I
it
say
till
just
the
table.
next
I
meeting?
don't necessarily, because we've already made a motion to approve yours, okay? If that 8,000, will that get us on the list? When I say us, you, the sheriff's department, and the city? Or do you need his 8,000 also to be on the list?
From what I understood, the price is going to be 8,000, possibly cheaper once our IT personnel finds some cheaper servers or alternative things. But this contract basically got us on the list, that there was no money is going to be due on that. The 8,000 is simply a number that was originally submitted to us for VIA. Am I explaining this correct?
Yeah.
If we approved your 8,000.
Yes.
Okay, so if we table everything for now, is it safe to say that we could still get to the sheriff in time if they come back and say, no, you need to approve the sheriff as well and the
Yes.
other departments?
Well, see, that's why I think that we would be okay, because the police department's done that.
Okay,
We're on the list, that's all, once it's on the list.
my recommendation is we leave the motion and approval for her $8,000 standing, okay, and we table the sheriff's. And I am sorry, Joey.
No,
because,
that's fine. It's confusing to everyone, I believe.
It's a little confusing, and I think we need a little more clarification before we authorize that kind of money.
Sure.
Okay.
And just to not freak you guys out about that training, and that's going to have to be paid later when we get to that, which will be November of 16. We have continuing ed fund. We have some things that's set aside for that, so I don't know that we'll necessarily need any additional monies for that. So.
Okay, I do appreciate that.
No problem.
And also, Mr. Jackson, at the advisory board meeting next week, perhaps Joey and myself and the chief of police can maybe provide some more information on this and further discussion and
Okay.
try to get the ball where it needs to be, because like I said, it's confusing, and you feel like a bouncing ball, don't you? It's like,
Right now, I think I know who's on first, but I'm not sure.
yeah, that's about how we've been feeling about it, so.
Okay.
But
So I'll make a motion to table this until more information, but leave yours standing.
Can we go ahead and get on the agenda then for the next meeting? Is that
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
I have a motion to table the sheriff's request for the 8,000 until we get more clarifications, or a second.
Second.
Is there a question? Motion and a second to table the sheriff's request. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Okay. Michelle?
The reason that I was on the agenda today was to sign the contract amendment for the grant. And they were supposed to have that to me last week. I just got an email this morning. They sent it last week to the advisory board chair. He didn't get it to me. I couldn't get a hold of him this morning.
Okay.
I'll try to track it down later today.
Can we go ahead and get her on the agenda for the next meeting then, please?
Yes.
Or does it have to be done before then?
We'll need it signed, but I forwarded the email from the state to Gertrude.
I did the
It
copy.
just needs her signature.
Okay.
So they just need to do a verbal approval of that?
Yeah, we were awarded, in addition on the grant, the current grant, we were awarded an amendment of funds in additional funds of $87,500. That was 45.8 to community corrections, 41.7 to probation, and that was for a full-time position at both departments. Community corrections was for a case manager / field officer, and probation was for a administrative assistant / liaison to community corrections.
Okay, so what you need is approval of the additional grant, in addition to the grant? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And my understanding is the 87.5 will be on there, along with an additional 8,422.66, which is the performance bonus for community corrections.
Okay. So what we need is a motion to approve the addition to the grant in the amount of $87,500, $45,800 to go to community corrections, and $41,700 to probation. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
And
Motion to approve the grant for $87,500.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Bador. Is there a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
That amendment will include the 8,422.66 also. They were just going to do it on one contract, so they didn't have to do two separate contracts and amendments.
Okay.
The folder that I gave you those are the originals. I'll need that back, and please don't say their names. Those are two potential hires for this position that's being created from the new grant monies.
So only one to get the position, which you're presenting as two possibilities. We go ahead and
And I'll probably have more.
approve
yeah.
two of them and allow you to make the choice.
Yes.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the recommendations by Michelle.
Have a motion.
And a second.
And a second to approve the recommendations for employment by Michelle Dudley for the position available, provided by the grant. there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
Just an update on the TANF grant. We have the permission to start spending funds. I've got my full-time person hired in that position, and we're ordering supplies and getting training done. We have all the Earn While You Learn curricula in Hazelton, the substance abuse treatment. We have all the materials in, and the training is scheduled for November the 30th, December 1st and 2nd. So we should be able to start that program up on substance abuse in December.
Okay.
Hey, Michelle, real quick, last week I came in, you were gone. I'm trying to get a compiling list of what vehicle maintenance costs were for 2014. If you get time, can you just email that to me, just what you guys spent in 2014 for vehicle maintenance?
One of the staff members is working on that for you.
Okay.
And that person is in the hospital right now. I'm
Okay.
not sure where she was at.
Okay.
I'm not sure how easy it would be for Diana to pull it up or not, because she has she may be able to get it pretty quick.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. At least, and thank you especially for trying to talk. Laryngitis?
It's an allergy or something. This morning I looked like I'd been punched in the face. It's all swollen and
You look fine.
Health Department, Mr. Sherp.
I think Gertrude emailed you, or I emailed you, and you have a copy of a mutual aid agreement. Did you get copies of that?
They did.
I did.
I didn't
And
print it out.
Mr. Abel got a copy of it. The health departments are in a District 6, there's 13 counties in the district, and we're funded through grants. And one of the requirements of that grant is for each of the health departments to have mutual aid agreements. We already have the same mutual aid agreement in place, it just needs updated. So that's what I'm here to follow up on.
Has Chris had a chance to look at this?
I have,
Okay.
and I would recommend the board approve it.
Okay. Looks like it's a standard mutual aid agreement, so. If you have nothing else to present, and if there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the mutual aid agreement.
I make a motion to approve the mutual aid agreement.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the mutual aid agreement for public health preparedness in District 6 for the Health Department. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. We'll sign this and get it to her, and you can get a copy after the meeting.
All right,
Okay?
thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I guess yours is the same as the original one.
Yeah.
County Attorney,
Yes,
Mr.
That's
Pell.
going to be our original now. Make sure you get a copy.
I didn't have anything to present besides the interlocal agreements that Terry talked about. Besides that, I have nothing to present to the board at this time, unless you guys have a specific question you think I need to address.
You don't think so at this time.
Thank you.
And it's such a pleasure to say this. Council representative.
I hate to burst your bubble, but we have nothing for you.
Oh, well, at least you attended. I appreciate that, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have anything to present to the council that I'm aware of right off the top of my head, so.
Okay.
As you as the council president, we had talked in the past about the county council and the county commissioners getting together at some time and advertise it, of course, and sit down and talk. That way we can start working hand in hand and talk about things that you guys want to talk about, and we know what each other's thinking, so.
I think that's a good idea.
And then at some point, it would behoove us to, the mayor-elect, to where at some point, at least once a year, where the Fayette County Council, Fayette County Commissioners the city council and the mayor sit down and talk at least once or twice a year.
Probably good idea too. Do you have, for the council and the commissioners, do you have a time of the day or?
I have not talked to different people to find out what's best for them. I'm sure it's going to be scattered, but
It seems to me that since your council meetings are in the evenings and most people's work during the day, not all, I understand, but probably evening meetings, maybe 6 or 7 sometime would be good.
We can probably do it, yeah, you guys meet twice a month where we meet once. The week that we don't meet, that you do meet, might be an opportunity for us to do that.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, Tuesday evening, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
I do have one thing. I'd like to, how does the council stand on, I've extended an invitation to them at least 3 or 4 times for us to sit down and discuss the windmill monies and a policy. And we haven't done that yet. Is there a problem, or is it just a matter of timing, or?
I think it's just a matter of us just making it happen. I think that's all it is. I don't think there's anybody opposed to it. I think it needs to happen. Are you thinking, what are you thinking of the frequency of that meeting?
Actually, I think our first joint meeting we were just discussing would be a good time
Yeah,
to bring that up, and that way we wouldn't have to have another meeting to do that.
I agree. And I think that those meetings might be a good place for those discussions to take place regularly if they need to.
If it's all right with the board, I'll coordinate with him as far as the date and time, maybe even yet this month,
Yeah,
where we could get together, if that's okay.
sounds good.
they meet when, Gertrude, when's their next meeting?
17th.
The 17th for the commissioners.
17th, yeah.
And then we could, I'll bring it up to council tonight in our meeting,
Okay.
and I'll propose that to them that we meet the 17th at 6 PM with the commissioners to discuss that amongst other outstanding issues that we may have.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay, see, gets it worked out.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks for coming, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Is there any mail?
No, there is no mail, but I would like to just remind the board, this is just kind of maybe housekeeping that'll come up also for the council meeting for this evening. We're November 4th. We have after tonight's meeting, we have only one meeting left where any additional appropriations can be brought before council for approval, which will be December 1st for their next meeting. The deadline for my office to submit any requests from the commissioners or from the department heads will be November 12th, because we need to leave time for the advertising as required by DLGF. So I will be sending out a department email to all the directors and elected officials, letting them know that November 12th deadline. But I know there's still just some outstanding issues with the prison meals for the remainder of this year that need to be addressed. So I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention.
Okay, thank you.
For that additional, you were talking about for the prisoners' meals, traditionally those have come from the sheriff's department?
Because that, as of this year, it's changing next year to the sheriff's department. Council moved it in the 2016 budget from the commissioners to the sheriff. It is still in the commissioner's budget as of this year, and I know the commissioners put a request in for $69,000 for an additional to cover the rest of this year. However, council, and because of the lack of surplus in our county budget, they had to amend that request down to $25,000. So that paid for, I think, through the middle of September, but we're down again to just a couple $100 left for $17,000 of prison meals.
We also amended that request because of the agreement with, what was that, with Gordon?
Gordon Food Service.
And I don't know how that's panned out with those discussions, if they.
We'll get an update tonight.
Okay. So I think that was part of it too, in hopes that that would help offset that dollar amount, because the number that they proposed was less than $1.
Yes, they said it would be 99 cents or less.
Will Joey be at your meeting tonight?
Yes, he will.
Okay.
Because I think it was like $1.70 or $1.89 or something a meal prior to that, so almost double.
We need a, if he's gonna give you a report on the cost effectiveness and projected costs of Gorton Foods through the end of the year, okay, plus anything that you have left over from any other vendors lagging before Gorton started, okay, we'll need an approximate idea of what to request. 69,000 was probably, well,
I think he said that the population of the jail has gone down too.
As of the last meeting, the jail population was down to 125.
I think it's the lowest it's been in a while. I think council anticipated that there may be a request coming forward in the near future for additional, but our hopes were that the agreement with Gordon would be able to sustain that, their budget.
at a dollar a meal, rounding the figure up with 125, assuming they don't get an influx for 60 days, you're looking at almost $23,000. So
We're hoping, because like Gertrude said, there is no surplus, there's no place to take any additional money. It's not that we were trying to be difficult, but there just was nowhere to get more money. There might be a little bit, but not much. We don't know what other additionals would be coming forward before the council prior to the end of the year as well too, so we have to take that into consideration.
okay. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
With no other mail.
Okay. No mail, old business, burn ban. Oh yeah, Dan, did you want to speak? Okay, all right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner, go ahead.
During the dry spell, we had implemented a burn ban for Fayette County, which was in effect for, and we can do that by proxy of an emergency if we don't have to have a special meeting, because we were having a lot of issues with people burning leaves and burning shrubs and then setting the entire woods on fire and fields on fire. So it was in place and then it was removed, and I don't know the exact date, but it is no longer in effect. So do we need a motion to approve and then a motion to disapprove?
Well, I think we need to ask our county council for the appropriate way, since we have a written ordinance signed by a quorum of the commissioners to put a burn ban in place. What's the proper way to rescind that?
Well, I think it doesn't it just have a normal shelf life of 7 days?
7 days shelf life.
So if it has a shelf life of 7 days and it's not extended by the commissioners, then I think it's moot. It's done and over with. I don't think.
I'm not sure that's in this
Well,
language.
It only goes into effect until rescinded. I mean, I would just make a motion to rescind it.
Okay. I'll make a motion to rescind the burn ban.
I second that.
Motion and a second to rescind the burn ban, which was actually ordinance 2015-21, put into effect on October 21st. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Michael?
You were talking about the 911, the server for Spillman. I am getting 7 different vendors that have all been vying for our business, kind of fighting over it right now, trying to get us the best price that we can. Right now, I've got about 60 things on my list that are going through the end of the year with all the different departments and coming up with things where they got new things coming in, or adjustments that need made. I'm trying to get the VPN in place so that the various departments that have need for it, for 911, have access to the network over there so that they can get the Spillman access if they need it, or access to the audio recorder if they need it, as approved by the department over there. So those are primarily what I've got going on. I'm also trying to set up more remote stuff that we can do, remotely control things here at the courthouse in case weather gets bad this winter and we need to remotely work on things. So that's pretty much all I got.
Thank you.
The other stuff was earlier, so.
Appreciate,
Thanks, sir.
appreciate your work.
Commissioners, if I can add to Mr. King's session. The intra-local government agreement with 911 was signed. We did probation at the last meeting, but we still didn't have the commission do a formal vote on community corrections agreement. If I don't know if Mr. King wants to present that, but we still have an unsigned.
Do you have it?
I have this.
Is it signed by?
It was
Michelle?
never formally introduced, or a motion was not made to pass this, so that still needs to be done for that third department.
Michelle was on vacation.
Okay. Let's do that next under new business.
Okay.
Any further old business? Under new business, it seems to are correct, we need to approve a resolution interlocal agreement with the community corrections between us and the county commissioners.
I make a motion we approve this interlocal agreement for the community corrections to pay their share of the IT. Isn't that what this is for?
Yes.
Yes. Second that motion.
Motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement between the commissioners and community corrections. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? 3 ayes. Under new business, the volunteer fire department contract for services, that's been postponed until next month. We have the state bicentennial proclamation and flag raising.
2 weeks ago, I attended the Fall Indiana State Auditors Conference. At that conference, the Auditor of State presented information to all the county auditors that the governor has declared Friday, December 11th as the 199th anniversary of the day President James Madison signed the act admitting Indiana as the 19th state to the Union. And this is also the date that the governor has declared this will be the kickoff for the state of Indiana's bicentennial. With that, a draft proclamation was provided to all the auditors to present to the Board of Commissioners, of which one was emailed to each of the commissioners last week, so that we can have an actual, on December 11th at 12 noon at the flagpole, a flag raising for a special bicentennial flag that each of the counties were presented. And so I'm just making the commissioners aware of this request in hopes that we can make December 11th a day and an event for this flag raising and kickoff for the state's bicentennial here in Fayette County.
Just make a motion to.
Do the commissioners want to see a copy of the proclamation?
I'll make a motion to, on December 11th, to have a flag raising ceremony on the courthouse premises, the flagpole, and the kickoff of the bicentennial for the state of Indiana.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 3 ayes. Does it need a signature?
It will, yes.
We do have one other matter. We have an employee who's requesting an extension to his FMLA. We cannot mention names or department. However, the other two commissioners, I've shown them the letter and their request. Is there a motion to this effect? Before you make your motion, I would recommend that that the leave be extended till the end of the month, November 30th.
I make a motion that we extend the leave for this employee to the end of the month.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to extend the leave of the employee. All those, is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Do you want me to write approved and stuff and date on here and sign this?
And I'll give that to our payroll clerk. Yes, please.
I printed out my agenda, but the exhibit didn't update it. When the county contract?
For
Is
the
that-
farm?
Is that still on the agenda?
It is on the agenda. I put a new agenda on everybody's desk this morning, and I don't know if Mr. Savoy is here or not,
No,
No.
he's not here.
but it's on the agenda.
Do you have a copy of that? Was he bringing the contract?
I was made aware of this last minute, so I don't know what the purpose of this request was.
Okay.
Well, he'll just have to be put on the agenda again.
We'll table it for right now because
Is this for a renewal of the agreement?
yes, of it's the farmland up, that we owned up on County Farm. Okay. One more thing?
Yeah.
Please.
Dave Rickman is the head of the animal shelter. He's the animal shelter director. Obviously, he was busy today and he can't be here. We had a shed that was up there that was torn down because it had holes in the side of it and it was in bad shape and it was falling down. So on his behalf, I would like to make a request to purchase a shed for the animal shelter. We did a lot of checking as far as places to purchase sheds and so forth. There's not a whole lot of them. I mean, there's sporadically, some people have them for sale privately, but so the one place that we found that was reputable was Taylor Home Center. But I don't know exactly what size he needs. So I'm going to ask the other two commissioners, if they want to table it, that's fine, or move on, to make a motion of the effect to allow Dave Rickman to purchase a shed to not exceed any more than $3,500 for the animal shelter, and have it constructed and put on the property, because he does need it.
I think that we're okay to give a top amount, not to be spent beyond that, and then give him. He probably needs to present us with three different, if he can get three different quotes. But I think we can go ahead and authorize that expenditure for those monies.
The money is also coming out of his donated funds, which he does have a surplus of money in his donated funds that was donated to the animal shelter when, that someone wanted to leave it to him. So it's a healthy fund.
I second the motion.
Have a motion and a second to put a price cap on the amount of monies to be spent on a new storage shed at the animal shelter, and that amount is $3,500. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Patron concerns. We have one here. Okay.
I do have one item if there is no
Yes,
patron.
go ahead.
And this is, there have been, are several interlocal agreements between the county and the city of Connersville that are expired or to be expired. I had an opportunity to talk with Julie Greason, who apparently did talk with John Baker, and they did sign and pass over one agreement for the Fayette County and City of Connersville to fund the grant writing and administration positions for the following year. I'm going to pass this on to the board. It was just given to me this morning. If the attorney needs to review it for the county's end, then we can always bring this up for the next meeting. But there are several other contracts that really before the end of this year need to be reviewed, rewritten, and signed before we have a change in administration.
Okay. This is for Diana, correct?
Yes.
And
Go ahead, sir.
on a note, they're going to, the city is going to look and see which ones that they want to renew before now that the new offices or new people are in and before the new administration takes place. The ones that they approve will be presented to the board before the end of the year. As I've talked to John about these various agreements, I think they wanted to wait until the election. Because if they don't want them, then I mean, it's got to be a meeting of the minds. But,
They can't think for the next administration.
well, they just wanted
Administration
to
has make their own
have them
decision.
aware of it. They
Right.
can do, but they don't. I can't speak for them, but some more of those will be coming before you before the end of the year.
Hopefully that's not problematic because I think there's an automatic recount with the vote total that from last night's election. The last time that happened, it was several months into the first year of the new mayor before they actually knew who the new mayor was going to be. So, but I agree. Whoever the council and mayor-elect persons need to be involved with this. Having said that, this is an extremely important agreement, so I will entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement for the grant writer. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
And just as a side note, I want to state just from my office how much I appreciate Diana Wright's work as our grant administrator on the county's behalf and the good work that she does with that. So thank you very much.
Diane is well needed. Well needed.
Okay. No patron concerns? There's nothing else to be brought before the board. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of claims and payroll.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion and a second to approve the claims and payrolls. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. Nothing else coming before the board. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
And a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes. We are.